Hello students, good morning. Let's continue our chapter 4 of class 11, that is Animal Kingdom. Yesterday we have studied about your phylum, that is Platyhelminthes. Today we will study about the phylum Aschelminthes. They are also commonly called roundworm because they are circular in shape, as well as when we cut these organisms into cross section, then we get its as in the form of circles. So they are called as roundworm. So here I am giving you a simple tip to remember these phylums. First you have to write their level of organization, whether they are diploblastic or triploblastic, means germinal layer, then xylem, etc. etc. So the phylum of Aschelminthes species have bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic and their habitat is aquatic. They may be aquatic, means either live in marine water or fresh water. They may terrestrial, either free living or parasitic. Free living means when they live alone, and parasitic means when they live inside any other living organism. That may be plant or may be animal. So they have pseudocoeloms. Here they have pseudocoelom. Pseudo means false, coelom means cavity. Means when they need cavity or coelom, they produce it. A scattering structure present in the cell. They are called pseudocoelom. They have a muscular pharynx. They have a muscular pharynx. As you know, what is the function of pharynx? Help in taking food. So we can say that they have a muscular pharynx, and they release their waste. Their digestive system is incomplete. Incomplete means single pore. Their reproduction is internal reproduction. Development is either direct or indirect. So here the easy way to identify the species of Aschelminthes is the female is longer than the male one. This is female and this one is male. So we can easily identify the species of Aschelminthes, the male and female. The longer is female and the shorter is male. This is the distinct feature of Aschelminthes. So the examples are Ascaris, which causes ascariasis, the disease that is affects the intestine of the human beings. Then your Wucheria. Wucheria has 3 different species. You will study later: Wucheria bronchopti, Wucheria malai, and Ancylostoma. So these are the examples of phylum Aschelminthes. Next phylum is your Annelida. Annelida is derived from the Latin word annulus. Annule means ring. Annule means ring. As their structure, when it is cut into sections, then each section is look like a ring. That's why they are named as annelids. Let's study their common characters. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, having true coelom. Bilaterally symmetrical means equally divided into, or when we cut from the center, then we get as left and right. And they are triploblastic means ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Their habitat is both aquatic and terrestrial. Some of the species helpful for increasing the fertility of the soil, like your earthworm. Some possesses parapodia. In case of Nereis, this is Nereis, these are parapodia and they are completely marine. These are parapodia which help them in locomotion. And this is earthworm. They are metamerically segmented. Metamerically segmented means their body contains many segments. That's why they are called metamerically segmented. So their nephridia is the organ which helps in nephridia. Their digestive system is complete, means both mouth is for taking food and anus is for releasing waste. Nephridia is the organ which helps in maintaining osmoregulation. Osmoregulation means maintaining salt concentration of the body, salt concentration. And excretion means releasing other waste from the body. So we are discussing about phylum Annelids. So annelids are named so because they have ring-like structure, they are metamerically segmented, means their body is segmented. They are triploblastic animals, bilaterally symmetrical and having true coelom. And the organ nephridia is used for osmoregulation and releasing waste or to release excretory products. So they have a closed circulatory system. We have already discussed in our first class that circulation is of two types. One is open and another is closed. So the species of this phylum have closed circulatory system, means blood circulates through blood vessels to the different parts. That's why they are called closed circulatory system. And their reproduction is internal, development is indirect. Internal means fertilization is internal and development is indirect. Indirect means through larval stage, but some species develop directly. So examples of this phylum are Nereis, which already I have told you here. They have parapodia and they are aquatic. Then Pheretima, which is Indian earthworm. Pheretima, another is your lumbricoids, and this is Hirudinaria, which is called leech. In case of earthworm and leech, they are monoecious. Earthworm means Pheretima and Hirudinaria are monoecious. Monoecious means they are hermaphrodite. They are hermaphrodite animals, means contain one organism contains both the sex organs, means the single organism have both male and female sex organs. That's why they are called monoecious. But Nereis is dioecious. Nereis is dioecious, means its male and female are different or separated due to presence of different sex organs. Male contains male sex organ and female contains female sex organ. So the examples here I have gave you. Next move toward the phylum, that is Arthropoda. Again Arthropoda is named so because the species kept in this phylum have jointed legs. Arthro means jointed and poda means foot. Arthro means jointed. Arthro means jointed and poda means foot. As they have joined, all the species that kept in the phylum Arthropoda have jointed legs. So let's know about their basic general characters. They are, the species of Arthropoda are mainly insects and they constitutes the largest phylum. All the species we see on earth and maximum of it is your arthropods, means all the insects are come under it. So this is the, remember this line, Arthropoda is the largest phylum on the earth. They have organ system level of organization. Remember, when we move to the phylums and the higher phylums, we get they have organ system level of organization, then triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical, and they have true coelom, means they have true coelom means true cavity. Triploblastic means they have three germinal layers, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Bilaterally symmetrical means when they are divided we get as left and right. That's why they are called bilaterally symmetrical. And their body is distinctly divided into head, thorax and abdomen, which contain the appendages, means legs. So they have normally contains 8 legs, 6 to 8 legs. So these organisms have gills, lungs, book lungs for respiration. They have also presence of nephridia for their excretion and osmoregulation also. Here Malpighian tubule is the major part through which excretion occurs. This is Malpighian tubule. Malpighian tubule for osmoregulation and excretion. As they are living, so they need osmoregulation, and for osmoregulation they use Malpighian tubules. So next, how where they found? They are found everywhere normally in those areas where heat and humidity is maximum. So their fertilization is, next move to reproduction, their fertilization is always internal. Development is either direct or indirect, means some of the species of arthropoda show direct development and some species show indirect development. That's why we can say that they show both direct and indirect development, and they have economically importance. They are most economically benefited species. Some of them are Apis, species called Indian honeybee or honeybee, Bombyx, silkworm, and Lassifer, which produce lacs. So these are the economically important insects that come under phylum Arthropoda. Next, some of them acts as vector. Vector means which is carried by the mosquitoes like Anopheles, Culex and Aedes. Anopheles is responsible for causing malaria, Culex is for filaria, and Aedes is for dengue and chikungunya. So the species of arthropods also acts as vectors. Next, some of them are gregarious pests like Locusta, or Locusta means your grasshopper. They are at the crop, that's why they are called gregarious, means harms the crop field. Next example of this phylum is your living fossil, that is Limulus or king crab. Crab means kekda, and these are its economic importance, how they are harmful, they are beneficial. So they constitute the largest phylum on the earth. So this is the, remember, this is the largest phylum on earth. Next phylum, move to Mollusca. Molluscas have a hard covering inside which the organism is present. So their structure is like arthropods, they are something different. Remember, the exoskeleton of arthropods is made up of chitin, but here the exoskeleton of molluscas is made up of calcium carbonate, due to which their shell is so hard and indestructible because they are made up of calcium carbonate. So their body is next, their common basic general features. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, organ system level of organization, having true coelom, and their body is distinctly divided into three parts. One is head, muscular foot, and visceral hump. So if you saw, this is called your snail or Pila apple snail. This look like, this is like this. This is head, this is hump. Here mantle is present, and inside it the rasping organ radula is present, and they have sense organ inside it. Sense organ, when they can live in both water and land, they can even survive for 2 years without water. So inside this cover they release their sense organ, two antennas, when they move, and that help them for catching prey. So they are the characters, and they have also gills, and their digestion is complete. Digestion complete means they have two openings for both taking food and releasing waste materials. So they are the common basic characters of mollusca. Next, move to their examples of mollusca are Pila, which I have already told you. This is Pila. Then Pinctada. Octopus also come under this. If you not see octopus, when the school will open, I will show you. Octopus is kept as specimen in our school. So these are the most important examples you know today about the phylum Aschelminthes, then your Arthropoda and Mollusca.